Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball. Finissimo, delizioso, bellissima. Do you want a more pepper? Do you want a mortadella? Do you want a vino? Ho ho ho. The world, it hit your eye like a big pizza pie. Welcome to my Italian ristorante. Food, food, food. Mangia, mangia, mangia. If you clicked play on this episode, then you know that we are going to be discussing the menu. My name is Juan, here with my foodie besties, Mark and Kevin, and we like movies. Say hello to the people, boys.
Hey,
Hello.
hey, everybody.
Great. The menu starts off as a group of 12 individuals, couples, friends, and coworkers, all aboard a yacht on the way to a private island that features the Hawthorne, the most exclusive restaurant in the world. Now, their $1,250 multi course meal is curated and hosted by the highly regarded and famous gourmet chef Julian Slowick, played by Ralph Fiennes. As we slowly familiarize ourselves with the guests, it starts to become painfully clear that Chef Julian has got quite the spicy dinner planned, which involves lots of blood, piercing wounds, splattered brains, and finger filled doggy bags.
Mm.
We soon learn that almost every guest was placed there for a specific purpose, which is when we realize that perhaps revenge really might be a dish best served cold and as a freshly caught scallop on top of a rock, from farm to grave. Directed by Mark Mylod, who you may not know, but who has been directing episodes of some of the best shows of the day. We're talking Game of Thrones, Succession, oh yeah, Shameless, oh my,
Mm.
and more. But whose best directorial credit is probably for Ali G in the house, Bomba Clot, and the film is written by Seth Reese and Will Tracy, who both have extensive experience in satire. The menu stars Ralph Fiennes, Anna Taylor Joy, and Nicholas Holt, as well as a notable cast of supporters. It released on November 18th, 2022, and was produced by Alienworks Productions and Hyper Object Industries. It is currently streaming on HBO Max and has a runtime of 1 hour and 47 minutes. Kevin, this was your pick. What were you thinking, and what are your initial thoughts?
What the hell were you thinking?
Um, I'm just gonna go with it. I don't know what you boys thought about it. All I can say is when it was over, I was like, "What a wonderful movie! I love so much about this movie." It was like a meal that kept giving, and I didn't want it to end. And that's my quick thoughts about it. And I'll go into more detail later. But that's what I thought about it. I absolutely love this movie. What about you,
Wow.
Mark?
Okay, but what? No, I'm passing the ball right back to you. You didn't
Give it
answer
back.
the other
Give it back.
question.
Give it
Why
back.
did you pick this movie?
Oh, what I picked this movie. Like, I had seen the trailers last year, and the trailer looked really good. And I was like, okay. I'm like, let's see it. I then it came out on HBO Go, and I was on HBO, and I was like, ooh, I really wanna see this movie, and that's it. I just saw the trailer, and it looked really good, and I
All
was not
right.
disappointed.
So the trailer got you. Okay.
Got me.
All right. So you're passing it back to me.
Now I will toss it there. There you go.
This was a near perfect movie. I really enjoyed it. I will be honest. The first time I watched it, I kind of just sat back and I was just like, "What the hell did I just watch?" Because it just went off the end there. So I watched it again, knowing where it was going, and I was like, I started to see all the things that I was missing because there's nothing really hidden. It's all there for you. Um, but if you're not quick like or yeah, if you're not quick like me, you're not going to catch it. So watching it again, I saw the things that I missed, and everything came together even better. Um, yeah, I really did enjoy this.
Mm, okay. Well, I expected that from Mark. Did not expect it from Kevin. So I'm very surprised to hear him say how much he enjoyed the movie. Um, um, yeah, I guess
Here
this.
he comes.
I'm I,
Just
I'm
setting it up.
I'm expecting to get dogged in this episode. But I will also say that after my initial thoughts here, it's going to be all about you guys because I want to hear from you guys. And I do have what I have more than thoughts and critiques is I thought this movie really lends itself to like some really good questions that we can discuss.
Hmm.
So that's a lot of what I have, which I'm going to be intrigued to hear from you guys. I can say that I did like this movie, but it also challenged me and I couldn't help, I wish I could help myself, but I couldn't help myself thinking and thinking and thinking, what is this movie about? What is this movie saying? Because it's not just what's on the surface. This movie definitely challenges the viewer in the same way that the menu in the story challenges the guests to guess the theme, a
Hmm.
challenge of which we are informed you won't know until the end. It is a movie that is trying to say something, and it makes you feel as if your place in the world and or your guilt in the condition of the world is determined by if you get the movie or not. My biggest problem is that ultimately it really felt like a very negative movie with a drastically pessimistic and fatalistic view of the world. And this is something that producer Adam McKay is really owning at this point as he produces and directs movie after movie, from The Other Guys to The Big Short to Don't Look Up to Vice, that are dressed as comedy but are really trying to shed light on, whatever it is, corruption,
Something. Yeah.
crime, injustice, global warming, and so many things that Mr. McKay disapproves of, but is really underneath it kind of just saying like, I hate people, I hate systems, I hate everything, I'm ready to light myself on fire and hope the world burns with me. It's like, yeah, I get it, there's things that I don't like about the world either, and yes, a lot of that is called out in this film, but ultimately I think that there are better venues for these messages than a medium that is meant to be first and foremost entertaining. And then the other problem is that the alternative that this movie suggests, which is a world that's devoid of vanity, of deviousness, and greed, and filled with only the purest of intentions and motives, is what? It's a blissful socialist utopia of human perfection where there's no ego, no self-absorption, and it's all kumbaya, free love, and sponge cake. Well, that just ain't gonna happen. And even if it did, what then would you make movies about, Mr. McKay? So those are my thoughts.
So let me ask you, because it sounds like it's going to be the other way around. It sounds like we're going to be listening to you and your questions, and we're going to be talking about those questions. So my first question for you is, what do you think the movie, like, what do you think the message was?
That's my first question too.
Oh,
Um,
so you weren't sure what the message was.
no. There's different things that the movie's about. It's definitely high, like so one is like classism, right? So like everyone there was like an elite type of person for some reason, and then there's a whole thing about him, the service industry, like serving individuals, but now those individuals have elevated to the point where like now you are kind of, serving those people at an extreme level that's, you know at the level of perfection and unattainable, and now it's no longer about the enjoyment of what you started off doing. Now you're just feeding the beast,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's that aspect of it. um Yeah, so it's like anti in a way it's anti it's basically anti-capitalism. It's
Mm,
also,
no,
but
see, I
then
think you're going too far into it.
yeah, I don't I well, and I think that's why I mean, I feel like that's what the movie pulled me into. But
Yeah.
again, that's also why I'm like, I don't necessarily want to go into all that because I'm more curious, like what you guys thought about it.
So for me, because I can hear the gears churning in Kevin's head, so I'll go first. For me, for me, no, I thought this was straight and simple. As this is an artist who had a craft that he loved doing, and he realized that he kept pushing the bar because everyone was making him push the bar. That he had to keep getting better and better and better to strive for this perfection that doesn't exist. So what he went from being the guy that makes really good cheeseburgers to now he's charging 12.50 a head just for a menu that is just like whatever. Like, I mean, there's no love going into the food. So you have an artist who has realized that he's dead, he's done, and so he's hoping that with his last masterpiece it'll give him some form of like recognition. So he decides that, well, who are the people that brought me to this point? It's all these elitists, all these people. You have a couple that's been here 11 times. I mean, 11 times 12.50, that's a lot of money, you know? You have celebrities, you have these probably hedge fund guys that, these bro types that are in Wall Street, you know? So he's looking at them going, okay, you're the ones that caused my downfall. So I'm going to make sure that I pick my 12 people and you're coming down with me. And that was it.
Mm.
I don't think there was anything extra with it. I think we were supposed to see this artist for who he was, and we were supposed to side with him and understand why he's doing what he was doing.
Yeah, but there's a lot of symbolism. I think that's what, drives me beyond that. Is that
Mm.
there's so much symbolism all over the movie that it's like that's not just there accidentally.
But quick moment here.
Oh, that's why I
Um,
paused.
there's I think this movie speaks a lot about how people enjoy things in life. How some
Mm-hmm.
people obsess about things to the point of ruining the experience for others, and they don't care. And how sometimes we can't enjoy it. Like Nicholas Holt's character, Tyler, like
Mm-hmm.
the whole time there, like he didn't care that people were being killed. He just cared about, oh, let me get the deeper experience of this bread with no bread. And he's like, oh, I think it's so great because he's getting deeper into it.
Yeah.
And when I watched it, I was like, let's remove like the food area about it. Let's take like if it was magic, like he'd be the guy who's like, oh, I could tell you how this trick is done, and he's ruining it for everyone. I'm like, yo, dude, just shut up. We're just watching a magic trick. I don't even know how the sausage is made here, buddy. And then
Yeah. But he's so obsessed about it. That's
yeah,
why.
because he doesn't care about
Yeah.
anyone else. But let's take even movies for instance, right? Like, not every movie need like, and again, I just watched it at first, and when I was rethinking about it at the end, I was like, oh man, all these things were coming to me, and that's why I loved it. I'm like, oh, there is some more there. Um, it's about movies, not like Mark. If you could take it and so we could just enjoy a movie for like, hey, just enjoy a movie for right now. Not everything has to be deconstructed towards other movies, but if that's the way you enjoy it, it's cool. You know what I mean? Um, there's people who sometimes, and I think we talked about it before, where sometimes it ruins your joy of movies because you get too into it. Just enjoy the movie. Maybe it was symbolism, maybe it wasn't. If Juan picked it up like that, that's cool. That's the way you enjoyed movies. Um, I didn't get all that symbolism. I was just like, hey, this is just a movie. You know what I mean? But I did get a little bit deeper into it, so it's somewhere in between it. I don't know if it's making sense. The words I'm saying, the words that are coming out of my mouth.
It seems
Um,
like you're just trying to play both sides.
no, but like
No, like
it's like eating a
I hear what you're saying, but like
It's like
I
it's like
feel
eating a
like
piece of meat and being able to enjoy the flavor, but I don't need to know what exact spices are being used on this meat.
What part of the cow is this?
Yeah.
but the problem, I mean, the issue that I have with that is no, and I get well, again, a movie, some of the other movies that again, I've been talking to you guys like I just watched John Wick,
Hmm.
right, and really enjoyed it. Like I don't need to dissect and deconstruct John Wick. Like his,
Mhm.
but this movie is not filmed or written like John Wick. Like you're supposed to, think about, what the message is, what the theme is, what the movie is really saying. So I don't think for like, yeah, I could just, it was an enjoyable film. It was a good film. It was interesting. The acting was good. Ralph Fiennes did a great job. Everything about it was good. But what what was haunting was, all right, but what is this trying to shine a light on? Because it definitely is. It's not a popcorn flick. So like, for example, take Mark's what Mark is saying is the point of the movie. I think that it is that definitely is there, but I think there are some things that happen in the movie that contradict that. Like, for example, if you're saying it's about this artist, then kind of like his vendetta because he's resentful about what has become of him and his industry, but that doesn't explain why the his protege went and blew his brains off. That doesn't explain why he lied about that barrel, which was one of my questions. Like, why was he doing that? Why did he lie about that barrel? It doesn't explain, like, why those people, why they all had to die too. Like, I could understand then him dying and even him taking out the guest, but why did all those people have to die too, like his chefs and those people that were there to learn from him?
So for me, I took that immediately cult because they're living there and Chef does not he doesn't live with them. He's in a separate area. And so I took that as this is a cult. This is a cult. They're so infatuated by this man. They
Mm-hmm.
want to be around him. They will do anything to be a part of his staff. They will do anything that he asks. So it had a cult like vibe, you know?
Yeah.
And you could see that they didn't want to die. I mean, when that dude blew his brains out, he cried. Like he was at that point where he was tearing up, but you could see it was an emotional moment for him. It wasn't easy to do, but he still did it because that's what the chef wanted.
But
So I took it as a cult like vibe. And then for the barrel, Elsa makes that very clearly that she makes that clear that that he didn't ask for that barrel. He
Mm-hmm.
did that to see if Margot was an eater or a taker, and or an eater or a giver. A taker, what was it? Eater, taker, or giver?
Yeah, give her or take her.
Right. So he was testing her. That was all a test to see what she was going to do. Is she going to bring the barrel? Because even Elsa said, "You're not going to be my replacement." So she saw that as, oh, this girl's being brought into this group now, and she even had to respond by saying, "Yes, chef." I took that as 100% a test.
Okay.
and also them killing themselves wasn't the chef's original idea. It was that girl's idea. She's like, "Oh, that was my idea, by the way, for the menu."
Yeah, for everybody. Yeah. Well, see, but that's yes, that is the case that it was her idea for everyone to kill themselves. But for the mess, I forgot what his name was. Dude that pulled the trigger on himself. I mean, was that his idea or not? That's kind of left up in the air. But the other chef, or I guess they're not called chefs. Um,
Yeah, the
the
sous chef.
other sous chef. There we go. The other sous chef, when they had that whole that was so funny. Like you got 45 seconds, you have a head start. It was just so bizarre. Um, but yeah, it was Catherine. She mentioned that it was her idea when they were sitting with all the women eating the course or appetizer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's what made me get those cult like vibes. Like,
Yeah.
why would you think that the best way to end this night is by everyone killing themselves, you included? Um, so but that's kind of like drinking the Kool Aid. Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I know it's gonna kill me, but hey, that's what they want us to do, and you drink it. So it was major cult like vibes for me for this.
Yeah, and that actually was one of my second question. which was, do you think the movie makes a stronger case against elitism or against cults?
Yeah. I mean, the fact that at the end of the day, none of the elitists won. You have the girl who was turning tricks ended up the winner. Um, that's why I didn't get that vibe. Like I didn't. None of them came out okay. Like none of them got what they wanted. They couldn't buy their way out. They couldn't use their name, their status. They couldn't do any of that. They were done for. And then we have a chef who is, I mean, clearly the top notch in the world. He's got a freaking island where he does his restaurant deal. Like, he's a bigwig and he's willing to off himself off. I didn't see it as elitist at all because there was none of that prevailed. You got a girl who's turning tricks eating a cheeseburger.
Yeah, but that's why it's well, that's what I'm saying. Like it's anti-elitism.
Yeah.
Like, because
Well, I'm okay. I'm okay with anti-elitism.
But the cult thing, I think, is definitely very, very prevalent, because
100%.
even at the end, when the guests are in their s'more regalia and they're about to get lit up, like the one girl that was the assistant to the actor, she was like crying and like responding to the chef,
Looked like she was, it looked like she was praying at one point. Then she
yeah,
goes,
yeah,
"Yes,
yeah. Like they were bought in.
Sorry.
At that point.
Yes, chef.
At that point, I wanted a marshmallow shirt. I was like, that
So, all right.
looks
So,
good.
for those who we're spoiling the movie for them, the grand finale is the s'more, and I thought it was hilarious. So every course they name all the ingredients, and for the s'more, the ingredients. I wrote it down because I died. Marshmallow, chocolate, graham cracker, customer, staff, restaurant. I was like, that's incredible. But yeah, so basically the final course of this movie is the s'more, and the chef makes all the guests the s'more by putting a beautiful shawl of marshmallows around them and a perfectly round fitting their head perfectly like a chocolate crown, and he sets off some fire, and then everyone goes down, and it's a shame that no one got to enjoy those s'mores.
Yeah.
And the best part was that mom was passed out drunk in the background at that scene.
Yeah.
She was out. She was like, boom, with whole hand on the bottle.
Yeah. And so that was a little weird to me because I didn't understand the point of the money. It sounded like he was doing things for her, like to help her, protect her, but then you burn her alive. Like, I don't. So the whole mother thing was just weird. I guess he's got mommy issues, but I couldn't understand that point of the story.
This is a theory that I found. It's so let me just make it very clear that it's not my theory.
It's gonna be good.
This is a theory that I found, but I think it actually perfectly answers Mark's question and has a perfect explanation for it. And I think Mark's gonna like it. It says this: the 7 sins are covered by the 6 tables plus staff. Greed are the tech bros who embezzled. Gluttony is Tyler, who's willing to die for food lust. Richard, who's a cheater. Envy. George, who's a washed up name dropper. Pride. Lillian and Ted, who believe the dinner is just for them. Sloth. Sloth is Julian's mother, who did nothing to stop her husband's abuse. And Wrath is Julian and the other chefs who murder everyone.
Dang, that's so good.
Yeah.
If that's the case, like that makes the movie even better.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. And Kevin wants me to just smell the flowers and not think.
Just phone it in, bro. Just phone it in.
He doesn't want me to use my brain to think.
I never said you could think, but you don't have to dissect it to the point of, it's no longer anything. You're like, oh, look at this. Like, you just enjoy it, think about it, get a little bit into it, but you don't have to ruin the experience for you.
Well, I hope you
which was
enjoyed
the
that.
point of the movie. Oh my gosh!
I hope you enjoyed that theory because that was one of my fun facts.
Oh man, you should have saved it for fun facts. Now I'm not gonna be able to do.
No, but that's awesome though, bro. You got a fun fact. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
I thought that was the case. But dude,
So
that makes wow. Yeah, see, I wasn't
yeah,
even looking at it like that. I was just like, all these people are scumbags. I'm all right with it.
yeah.
Mm,
So let
Wait
me.
a second. Wait a second. Wait a second.
Um,
bring it on back,
then,
baby.
then why did what was her real name? Anna Taylor Joy's
Aaron.
Aaron. Why'd she get away there? Because apparently she was committing some sins herself right there.
That's a great question. Why did she get to survive? Apparently, there was something pure about her.
And also,
I don't think that it was a pure. I want to say it was ignorance because they kept asking, "Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?" Because they didn't know that she was Aaron.
Oh
At no
no,
point did they know she was Aaron.
but okay. So it wasn't. You're right. Sorry. Let me backtrack. It wasn't purity. It was because she was allowed into the. She got into the chef's house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she saw the picture with the cheeseburger, which
Mm-hmm.
she then used, right? But the trick that she did, that what was smart about her, is that she said she only took a bite, and then she said, "I need to take the rest to go."
Mm-hmm.
And so her, like, the whole thing about the menu or whatever is that the meal has to be completed.
Mm-hmm.
So because hers was to go, she couldn't finish it until she left.
Right.
So it wasn't so much that she was allowed to leave. It was so much that it was more that she just outwit, like she figured out how to outwit him.
Yeah, her eyes were bigger than her stomach.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that explains the hesitation because he's just staring at her like, all right, I'll grab you a box. I was like, is he gonna let her go or what? But that explains it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like
So
that. I like that.
so all right, so let's back up real quick because we have gotten yes, exactly. Kevin,
We started at the end.
someone's doing your job for you.
I don't have a backup. All right, bro. And Mark's done it 3 weeks in a row now, and it's great every time he does it.
Hell yeah.
So the guests arrive in the island. They're kind of shown around. They're talking about how the food is made. They sit
Which
down
the
for
island is lovely, by the way.
yeah.
I mean, it looks like a wonderful island to be on.
It's in Georgia. It's in Georgia.
Really?
Yeah.
We should go.
So we should. I'll meet you there.
We should record live from there.
So
Our last
yeah.
recording, guys.
So it's whatever. It's a 6 or 7 course meal or whatever. And so as they go through each meal, there's a story behind each meal that the chef shares, you know, for the first course and then the second course and whatnot. And so yeah, things start to spiral out of control. But what we were describing was that, you know, the final course then is that s'mores in which the whole building is lit into a ball of fire.
The
But
monstrosity is lit.
yeah, but I don't know if you guys if you got to peruse, you know, the internet a little bit, you know, searching for things about the menu, but a big thing that kind of blew everyone's mind was how delicious the cheeseburger looked.
Bro, those onions, when he put the onions on top and flipped it, I went, oh.
Dude, no. For me, it was when that little piece of cheese was hanging off, like
It was
directly
burnt,
on the
right?
grill. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When it was like on the grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he scooped that up like there was no cheese left behind. I was looking at that like, dang,
But
that's a good bite.
dude, the physicality in that scene, it was the physicality of the performance that was like incredible to me because Ralph Fiennes, like his face, it
It's so
told.
cold.
Yeah,
It's so cold.
the whole movie, and then he just starts to curl his lip a little bit, you know, of the joy of cooking that burger, and like his eyes, like it was incredible acting. I mean, his performance was amazing in this film.
When he
It was on another level. That's what my whole thing was right here. I'm like, dude, this guy's killing it.
when he put the plate down and then gave the cheeseburger 2 pumps to let that grease flow. I was like, oh damn, this boy knows what he's doing. And even then, I could see him giving like a very sly smile, like, "Yo, your palate's about to get destroyed, my guy."
Did you get flashbacks of playing what's that game?
What, Burger
Oh,
Time?
no, the one with the 4 chefs. Oh, cook something.
Oh yeah, Overcooked.
Overcooked.
That's pure chaos. This dude was by himself cooking a burger. I got 3 people behind me burning the place down while I'm making a patty. No overcooked
Dude,
there.
I have had that experience, by the way, of like going to a fancy diner
Yeah.
and not being accustomed to being at a fancy restaurant, and then seeing it I love scallops, and being like, oh baby, I'm gonna get those scallops, and then they just bring you like one.
That is the exact reason I will never do fine dining, because I think that is so stupid. But you know what he said that made me, wow, that makes sense. He said that he portioned it out perfectly that you can't get full. And I was like, oh, so these SOBs are doing it on purpose. Okay, that makes sense now.
But I think even in fine dining, you're not even supposed to, when they give you the little piece, you're not supposed to finish everything either.
You're supposed to leave some behind?
Yeah,
Bro,
because out of
I'm giving
respect for
them
the
a
chef.
clean plate every time. Clean plate. I'm licking the sauce. It's gonna look like it doesn't even need to go through the dishwash.
Remember when I went to one, I was like, I'm eating it. I don't care, man.
Cause yeah, bro, you gotta go to Taco Bell right after. What's the point? I $12.50 on a bomb meal, but yo, that bean burrito hit.
Listen, I won't ask for ketchup. I won't ask for ketchup with this meal, but I'm gonna eat it all.
But I'm gonna ask for more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will never do fine dining for that reason. And this movie was perfect, man. But I think that's why I also enjoyed it, because it pointed out why I don't like fine dining. Like, I don't want to sit and close my eyes and think about how the person who was birthed from their mother's vagina, and they got the scallops from me. Like, I don't care about that. Like, I don't like the flavor doesn't last that long anyways. Like,
Yeah.
so like, that's good, and I'm good. Like, that's
Dude,
it.
but
More.
that main course, like the main course though, with the big bone marrow,
Oh yeah,
and also the chicken with the
that was Mike's mess, or not Mike? What was
Man's Folly.
Matt's
yeah.
Folly?
Well, that was the bone marrow one, but the one before that, when he got stabbed in the leg, and then it was the chicken
Man's
thigh.
Folly.
Man's
Man's
Folly.
Folly. Yeah.
Dude, that looks so good.
No, it was the mess. The guy that blew his brains out. That one looked like the best one with the bone marrow.
Dude,
No,
it
that
looked
was not the mess.
Yes, the bone marrow had the mess.
Listen, they all look good, man. They all look good.
100%. Oh, I'll look it up right now, bro.
No, I'll take your word for it. But I do have another question.
Yeah.
So, why do you think Tyler killed himself?
I think that's what the chef told him to do in his ear.
So he was already in the cult.
Well, yeah, because he was in the
100%,
cult.
bro. He knew he was gonna die.
Yeah, he was dressed down and embarrassed because he knew all the secrets about food to ruin it for everyone, but he didn't know how to do it himself. So that's why he put him on the spot, and what he made did not look good. That looked like crap. And then that's why I think the chef just whispered in his ear, just told him, listen, it's crap. You need to go kill yourself. And I think that's why he went and hung himself. Because he was like, oh, I'm here, and I just embarrassed myself in front of this guy. I don't deserve to live.
Yeah, I guess maybe I just thought there might have been more to it, but yeah, it seems pretty accurate. It's pretty on point.
Yeah, probably said, I'm not gonna give you any more food. That's it. You're done.
I was wrong. The mess is pressure cooked beef, bone broth, heirloom carrots, and potatoes. Rip Jeremy Locks. Yeah, Locks. Yeah, so I was wrong. So it is that one. Man's Folly is the bone broth, the bone marrow.
Yeah, but which one was the chicken thigh then?
Oh,
that was Memory. chicken
Mamma
thighs,
mia.
al pastor, smoked pineapple, salsa, tortillas. Oh, those are the tacos.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
he stabbed his dad.
Yeah. And then yeah, something about the oh yeah, because it was Taco Tuesday.
Go Tuesday.
Dude, how about that? How about that poor guy, the fallen angel?
What
Poor
are you
guy.
Huh?
What was it, Doug Varick?
Yes, Doug Varick. I mean, just what a way to go, man. Everybody just watching you slowly fall into the ocean and drown.
Shh, everyone quiet. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen for the silence. Yeah. But see, at that point, he said it. The reason he's doing that is because this guy owns him. Like, this is not his, it belongs to Doug Varick. So that's why Doug's got to go. So when he said that, I was like, yeah, Doug's got to go, man. If you.
Um
And he asked for substitutions, bro. No substitutions.
No substitutes. That's a big reason why I never ask for substitutions at restaurants, because I always picture the chef in the back going, no, they can't get that. No, on the menu. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
bro, that's what you picture. I don't do substitutions because I picture
No. All right, listen, in all the restaurants that I've worked in, that is not something that happens. You would have to be like the scum of the earth for you to get your food spit in. Like you'd have to be doing something really obnoxious, like bad, like dude, you're a terrible person. All right,
I have heard of
pull out the
I,
nut sacks. We're gonna rub some on these buns here.
I've witnessed it. I've witnessed it happen.
What restaurant were you working at?
He worked at a couple.
Yeah.
Which one did you see that happen? I need to avoid that one.
No, it wasn't. It was in catering.
What?
But see, no. At that point, they were pushed to that moment.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't at a customer. Actually, it was like at a boss. It was to a boss.
See, you were pushed to that limit. That boss
Wait, hold on.
did something that
One.
made it cross your head.
One.
Yeah.
Did you witness it happen, or did you participate in it?
Oh no, I did
He
not.
was the one that was holding the bun. He was
No. I would never do
Or you
that.
were the lookout.
No,
Hurry
I
up,
have
Robin.
I have a thing with food, bro. I have a thing with food. I don't like people playing with my food, and I don't play with people's food. I would never do that to someone. But I don't remember if I saw it or if I just was told about it. I don't remember clearly, but it was a soup. It was a soup that got a little extra ingredient.
Yeah, see that I really feel like that only happens because the person who's delivering that message has been pushed to the edge, and it's
Yeah.
either I'm going overboard or I'm doing this, and I'm going to
Yeah.
do this and feel better. So now Lillian Bloom, the critic, that Ted, that's supposed to be her husband. Did you know that?
No, it's supposed to be her editor.
No, it says I'm reading something. It says,
Well, you're reading wrong.
oh, all right, it is
What could
editor, right? I don't know what I'm reading.
Could it be her husband?
I don't know what
Oh. But I thought it was her editor because he said even at the end when they
double
were
dipping.
paying before they're about to burn, he's like, no,
Yeah.
it's on the magazine.
Yeah, I read that, or not read that. Well, I read that because I had subtitles on, but I saw that. Editor. Okay, so this person who I'm looking at.
Also,
Leave a comment that
anyways,
guy should stop watching movies.
the Asian chef, I believe her name is Hong Chow in real life. But the one she was kind of like the hostess of
Elsa,
the night.
the one who played Elsa.
Yeah. You recognize her from anything, Mark? Do you recognize her from anything?
I want to say she did. She did look familiar, but no, off the top of my head, no.
I kept trying to figure it out the whole time. I was like, I know her from something. I know her from something. She's from Watchmen, the show on HBO. She was like the bad guy.
I don't think I got far into Watchmen. No, yeah, I didn't get that far into
What?
Watchmen.
Oh,
I think I
that's an
saw the first
amazing
episode. I was like, man, this is really good. And then, yeah,
dude.
I gotta watch that.
It was so good.
My bad.
It's really good. All right, Kevin. What
She's
else
in
you
The
got
Whale,
for us, man?
apparently.
You love. Oh yeah, you love this movie, Kevin. Come on, rave.
Dude, those tortillas, snitches.
Yeah,
Those are the biggest snitching tortillas I've ever seen in my life, man.
they were.
You know, I
thick,
will say
too.
that the tacos looked like the most appetizing meal because when Tyler bit into that taco, I could just tell the tortilla was like soft because the way it broke up when he bit, and I was like, dang, that looks like a good taco. That looked like
I like a very thin tortilla.
You
I like
the
a very
corn?
thin. Yep.
Yeah. The street tacos, right?
Yep. Street tacos.
Where you bite and then it breaks and you're like, oh, gotta scoop it all up with my hands now.
Mm-hmm.
The best.
What else? There was another part where I don't know. That got me was when what was it? Move aside or something about his hand, and they're like, oh, which hand? And they took his finger off.
Yeah, because he was like, I'm gonna handle this.
Oh
and
yeah,
Elsa's
that's what
like,
it was.
oh, so what hand are you gonna handle this with? He's like, what? She's like, all right, left finger. But obviously that was on purpose because he's a cheater and a liar. But I laughed at one point when Doug Verrick is dipped into the ocean. We have Chef start quoting, and they look at each other and goes, he just quote Luther King. They're like, yep. I died. I'm like, man, this guy really is. But see, that's just how artists are. They're just so like involved and indulged in their craft. They can only see one thing, like, how can I be perfect? It doesn't matter what they're doing. This needs to be perfect. So I thought that was there was a lot of one-liners that made me laugh and chuckle.
Well, the best one was was when they brought out the birthday cake and they were genuinely singing that guy happy birthday.
He told me it was my birthday. He's like, yeah, man, it seemed really funny 3 years ago. Thanks, man. No, another part that made me laugh is when he asked, hey, he comes in the night. He's like, payment for this night, and they all paid. I was dying. I'm like, yo, you have to pay for your death. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The line that made me laugh out loud was when John Leguizamo told his assistant, like, oh, I gave a negative recommendation to Sony. She goes, I know, you CC'd me in the email.
Oh yeah.
I just laughed out loud.
That's such a dick move.
All right,
God.
I'm gonna give you guys a bonus fun fact.
All right, because Kevin stole one, right? That bastard.
Yeah. Another one. A bonus. I mean, I haven't gotten to my official fun fact segment yet.
Oh,
but
this is like the lightning round.
Yeah, this one's not. I didn't actually include this one, but since there's not a lot of content going on, I figured it's a good time to add it.
My content's gold, bro. I don't know what you talk about.
John Leguizamo, who played the actor, he
played the movie star.
The movie star, correct. The outdated has-been movie star.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this guy in real life has a very, very passionate and personal vendetta against Steven Seagal.
Really?
Yeah, he's talked about it.
Because of executive decision.
Because of the movie Executive Decision. Yeah, he's talked about it on talk shows. He's done like one-man shows, where
he wants all that smoke.
He's and some details he's given directly, some details he like talks about it ominous, like anonymously, but everybody knows he's talking about Steven Seagal. So his character, he based it off of Steven Seagal.
That is incredible.
Dude, it is so petty.
It's petty, but I know about Steven Seagal and how fake he is. I'm like, I'm okay.
Dude, but executive decision was like 1995.
Wait, have you seen Executive Decision?
No.
I saw it in theaters in '95. I have not forgiven Steven Seagal. Right?
I've never.
He takes top billing with I forgot who else is in it. That man's in that movie for like 7 minutes, and then John Leguizamo's in it for the rest of it, and it isn't even like even on the poster. So,
oh my gosh!
But it's been almost 30 years of this dude. He's just got to let it go, man.
He's got Colombian in him. We don't let it go.
That's true.
Hard to kill. I was like, I've only seen one Steven Seagal movie from beginning to end, and that was Hard to Kill. That one was pretty good.
You've never seen Under Siege?
No, or two.
Apparently, yeah. Not only was Steven Seagal like a diva and a jerk as his reputation states, but also I guess he like struck John Leguizamo accidentally during a scene and didn't apologize.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So
yeah, actually, Kurt Russell is like the top billed actor for Executive Decision.
That's the other.
It goes Kurt Russell, then Steven Seagal, then John Leguizamo. But I guess it's safe to say Steven Seagal's the bag, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Probably. I mean, he was pretty huge at that time. Still.
Yeah.
Listen. If John Leguizamo overhears this, my friend, you stay salty and you hold on to it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Knowing who Steven Seagal is, I'm cool with it. I've never seen it though, so you're saying I should avoid it altogether, 100%?
No, it's not bad. But if you expect to see Steven Seagal, like spoiler, he dies in the very beginning of the movie.
Really?
Yeah, he's credited on that top billing. I think he pushed John Leguizamo's name down, like in a little thing, and he literally dies at the very beginning of that operation that they're doing.
Yeah, it's something like they're trying to get onto this plane that's flying.
Let me read this to you. So wait, he dies fairly early in the movie?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So when terrorists hijack a plane traveling from Greece to Washington, D.C., U.S. Army Specialist David Grant, Kurt Russell, and Lieutenant Colonel Austin Travis, Steven Seagal, join forces to bring the plane to safety. Like he's in the first sentence, bro.
Dude, when they're boarding the plane, and that's when in the beginning when the movie's kicked, he dies on that boarding.
Yeah, in the transfer. Yeah.
You don't even make the flight.
That doesn't make the plane.
No.
Yeah, I'd be salty too. Movie 122 million at the box office in 1996. That's basically like billionaire money at the time, bro.
Yeah.
I would be salty too.
Well, but you could also argue that it made that money because of Steven Seagal on the bill.
Yo, but I mean that stack, bro. You got Kurt Russell, John Leguizamo, you got Halle Berry, Oliver Platt. Well, Oliver Platt at the time wasn't a big name, but
he was coming up at the time.
Yeah. There you go, coming up, bro. Yeah. Joe Morton. Joe Morton's another one. He's the token black guy in most movies, unfortunately. He's still there.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back.
Now, I don't blame him for that. I don't. Well, I mean, if you're saying that we're not giving any content, I guess it's time to give the ratings before.
Wait.
On us. Oh wait, Kevin's got some. He's holding it back.
No, and just like in Everywhere, Everything Everywhere All at Once, with I can't ever remember his name, so I call him Short Round. It was really great to see Judith Light.
Yeah, I was surprised to see her.
I don't know if many of y'all. I was saying I don't know if y'all are even gonna know who she was, but I was like, hey, this is really great.
I didn't know her real name, but I knew who she was.
Angela from.
Huh?
From Who's the Boss? Angela from Who's the Boss?
Right.
Oh, that's her?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh,
too.
she was.
You don't remember?
I was like, she was.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean,
Are we,
again,
are you talking about the same person?
yeah,
Are
the
we talking about
blonde lady
the white
from Who's
witch
the
guy?
Boss?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
She might have
Well,
been.
anyway,
I didn't.
I mean, I've seen a lot of.
Tick Tick Boom wasn't as enjoyable as this movie.
Well, yeah, that's right. It wasn't. No,
So
I'm
maybe that.
just really. I'm so like I'll see a face and I'm like, oh, I know that person, but I might not remember the name, but I remember you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm ready to start my fun facts.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Where? I think this.
Oh boy, this guy fell asleep over here.
No, I hit the wrong button.
That's even
Fun
worse.
fact time.
Hey,
That's very fun music.
you don't sound fun though.
So,
You need
okay,
to
you
pick
can,
it up on.
you can cut it off now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, I thought you were gonna talk the whole time over it. That would have
No.
been fun.
That would have
So-
been great. I would have just kept playing it.
At one point, the food critic she mentions this, but then it comes up again. So a newspaper article in the chef's room shows that he once worked at a restaurant called Tantalus.
hmm
If you are not if you're not up on your Greek mythology, then you might not know that Tantalus is the name of a character who invited the gods to his home for dinner, but he tricked them into eating a stew made from the meat of his whom he had murdered and dismembered in order to test their omniscience. When the gods realized what he had done, they cursed Tantalus to stand in a shallow pool of water under a fruit tree. Anytime he would raise his hand for the fruit, the tree's branches would rise beyond his reach. And anytime he would bend down to drink, the water would recede. Much in the same way, the chef has served the elite or the gods and sacrificed his dream. They say that he sacrificed his son, but I don't think that was explicit. And now all food and drink is meaningless to him, they say. I think in one of those pictures, like they did show that he had a lady or something at some point, right? Or did he mention that?
Yeah, it looked like he had a wife and kid. At least that's how I took it.
Oh, a kid too.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I don't remember it too well.
but see that also kind of made me think, oh, maybe that's why he's going off the deep end. Maybe he lost them
Sure.
because of his craft. Because working in a restaurant, like I mean, that's your life, man. 24/7. There's
Yeah.
no. If the restaurant's open, you're there. So
You want to
he
be
even
the
said
best?
it. He even said it. The one Sunday he had off, he went and saw
It's not
Doctor
a movie.
Yeah.
Sunshine.
Well, Mark, you and I have that extremely valuable life experience. Some call it a rite of passage of
Still in it. I'm still in it,
working
baby.
in the food industry.
I'm still in it.
Kevin's has never had to do that.
Bless your heart. I hope you never have to experience it. Because
Oh.
seeing people on the other end when they just want food, like I've never seen that side of nasty before, bro. Until that hanger hits. But you just people are angry. I'm like, yo, this is just food, bro. Calm down. Your life is still going on. Like there's nothing for you to be that angry and upset about. But it's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I hope you never experience that, bro.
But I say that to share that I have a huge I, I would not call myself a foodie, but because I'm not at that level. I just enjoy any food and I enjoy gorging and things that are delicious. But I do definitely subscribe to, and I think Anthony Bourdain is to blame for this because I'm a huge Anthony Bourdain fan. Was so sad when he killed himself. Still watches shows. Own Kitchen Confidential. So he definitely was one of the individuals that just turned me on to just the romanticizing, the food industry. And so, and then actually having done it, I mean, for so long, in catering, that it just, yeah, it's just a fun place with fun characters and high energy, sweating, running around like a madman sometimes, but just that energy, and then, so yeah, so it's definitely a cool thing. So I definitely appreciated that in
Yeah.
this movie of just highlighting that, even if it was highlighting, probably a dining experience that I'll never really experience at that level. And I'm totally okay with that. Because again, I want a steak. I don't want a little piece of scallop on a rock. But still, man, I appreciate the work that chefs do. And I have not watched the show Chef's Table, but I did watch a few other ones that I really enjoy.
Seen Chopped?
I watched Chopped, yeah.
I like
I've
Chopped.
seen
Chopped is good.
Chopped. Salt, fat, acid, heat is
I've heard about that.
is a good one. That's a really good one. And then I forget the name of one. It's an Asian guy who has a food show on Netflix that's pretty good too. David, I forget what his name is,
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I
but
want
yeah,
to say Chang, but I could be wrong.
yeah, that's what I was gonna
Is
say
it?
too.
Juan,
Yeah.
I think it's a very
did you
generic name.
did you read that they brought in the director from I think Chef's Table to film some of the
Yes.
food scenes?
They filmed. Yeah,
Oh,
he was the
nice.
he was the second unit director, and one of them. So and they had a chef who actually did the dishes.
Mm,
She is, I forget her name, but she's French, but she's the only female chef in the United States that has a three Michelin star. That she's a three Michelin star chef.
nice. Yeah, I mean, all the food looked nice. I
And
will
then
say that.
yeah, like the s'more
Hmm.
dish at the end, how like they like poured like the cocoa and like how
Yeah,
how it
that
was
was
all adorned.
beautiful.
That's actually a replica of an actual dish from another fine chef's restaurant where like he does that on the table. Like
Oh,
the last dessert, they lay it out on the table like that. Like it looks almost identical to how he does it.
and then you just scoop it up.
I think
Ugh, I'd
Yeah,
like to
there's
plate,
there's
please.
there's like something hard, like I don't know if it's like marshmallow paste or something that's like hardened and then he like breaks it and opens up,
Mm,
something like that. Um but
that
another
is
fun,
awesome. That
yeah,
that one is fun.
last fun fact is that Elsa, this one you guys might have caught on to, but Elsa mentions early on that the chefs never intentionally burn anything unless it's needed for the menu.
To make delicious.
And the film ends with everyone on Hawthorne Island being burned to death as the conclusion of the titular menu.
So they all tasted delicious. I
Yeah,
mean, they look delicious with all those marshmallows and that chocolate crown.
yeah. Once that chocolate started melting off the side of their face,
When Lillian had to close her eyes because the chocolate was melting over it. Yeah, that was pretty good.
yeah. All right, rating time.
all right.
Kevin, you good? You ready? You got any more?
Yeah. What? We going one through five, right? That's what we're going. There
That's
we
what you
go.
wanted.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying.
You
Oh,
know, but do you?
I do now. I remember now.
You know? Okay, all right.
I remember. I was gonna.
You want
I
you
was
want
like,
to remind everybody what we're doing?
uh,
Remind yourself.
we. By the way, I reheard the first episode of the season, and I actually state how we do it, and then I messed it up anyway.
Correct.
I was like,
Correct.
awesome. That's so awesome of me.
Correct.
We rate 1 through 5 on a scale of 1 through 5 little cherries. 1, of course, being the worst, 5 being the best.
We
And
haven't dished out a 5 yet.
Well,
Not even close.
well,
I don't think we've dished out a 4.
No, yeah, you're right.
no,
Correct.
we would have had I remembered, but anyway. But that gentleman is about to
Anything
jag.
gush.
That is about to jag.
Oh, all right.
All right. This movie.
You don't have any review music?
I don't actually.
Oh boy. Never mind. Continue. Sorry, I threw you off.
I did. Now I'm looking for music. That's me. It's all messed up. All right.
Continue. You're good.
This movie turns
Still looking.
food onto art. No, I'm looking at my notes now. Actually,
Oh, got you.
this movie turns food into art. Again, as I said in my opening, it made me want more. Even though it was like the ninth gate of Hell's Kitchen. It just upped every ante, and I honestly didn't know how it was going to end, which to me is always a fun experience in a movie when you can't predict it. And this season we've had a little bit of predictable ones, but I am going to give this one. I will give it a 5. I want to watch it multiple times, and so I am giving it a good 5 for me.
Hot dog.
Wow.
Yes, chef.
Wow. Talk about missed opportunities. You should have said it made you want s'more.
You know what?
And
Bro, you
also,
gotta hire this guy to write your notes, man.
Also,
wait. Are we reviewing movies? Or are we reviewing my review of the movie?
For someone, for all of its unpredictability, they kept telling you everyone's gonna die. Everyone's gonna die.
No, they kept saying that. And you're like, okay, it's how many people are getting out? I didn't think everyone's gonna die.
Okay. 5 out of 5.
Even
Great
though
job.
they said it multiple times, you didn't think everyone was gonna die?
No, and everyone didn't die, by the way. So just to let you know.
Yeah, I mean one person.
Wow, but that's not everyone.
but he did offer that from the beginning, so that should have been in the back of your head that maybe this person is gonna get out.
Yeah, but at that point, like I thought other people were gonna get out. I thought a whole bunch of things going on, but I was pleasantly surprised.
All right, I'll stop reviewing your review. My bad.
5 out of 5. Great success.
Yeah, that is very true. I'm not rating it as high as Kevin, but I will be giving this a 4 out of 5 little Jerry's. My biggest gripe is that I don't really understand the cults. Like I don't see how you could follow someone to death. That's just, like, hey, I'm a person, so you should follow me and kill yourself. Anyways, so yeah, the thing didn't just roll with me well enough, but outside of the ending and everyone dying, I did enjoy it. I thought that it was I thought it was pretty straightforward. We're watching an artist who realizes that they've fallen off the map and now they need to do their one big hurrah, and figured why not take out some stains in the world. And it was enjoyable. I do plan on seeing it again. I have seen it a couple times now. I would watch this again and recommend it.
All right, pretty high mark so far. It's not
You
gonna
got
be
that want ready?
not gonna be not gonna be that high for me. But again, I didn't hate it, and I thought there was a lot to like about it. Ultimately, it comes down to me to what I believe is just a very dark, negative, and pessimistic view of the world that just took away some of that enjoyment for me. So I wish it was not as heavy-handed as I feel that it was with some of that stuff, because what was on the surface was definitely really fun. Like if it was the same exact movie, but the chef was just a crazy psychopath, that just like wanted to kill people, like that would have been fun and light and enjoyable. But
An actual horror movie.
right. But instead, because it's satire and it's making a statement, whether they fully believe it or not, or they're just, trying to be clever and interesting and poignant. It just, again, it just took away the enjoyment for me. So I probably won't watch it again, but I didn't hate the experience of watching it. It was just more of the the thinking that it led me to, uncovering some of that stuff underneath the surface. So for me, it is just a 2 out of 5.
The suspense, bro. You had me sitting at the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
There it is.
I say it's gonna be a 1, 2, or 3. That's what I was waiting for.
I thought it was gonna be a 3 because he said he enjoyed it.
I
Did
did.
you
It
say
was
you'd watch it again? You're not
Nah,
gonna watch it again. You're not gonna watch it.
I won't watch it again.
All right.
like I had my finger on both the 3 and the 2 button. I was right.
Fair enough. Fair enough. This is one of those movies that it really isn't everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah. Even though it was good, I mean, it wasn't a waste of time. I didn't hate it, but
Yeah. No, it was
yeah.
shot very. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the restaurant very nice. The island itself was gorgeous. I mean, I wish I could have saw more. The fact that they had everything, every ingredient you could think of was on that island. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah. That's why it costs so much to eat there.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're not only funding for these people to live here, but all the animals.
So before we close, this is a little bit of bonus content, I would say, but Kevin, the Oscar nominations were released this week, and so I'd like to give you a minute or two for Kevin's Oscar spotlight. And what are your thoughts on the nominations?
Wow, was not prepared, but okay. Like, hold up, what are we talking about? What name was mentioned? I think there was some good nominations. There were some obvious snubs that I talked to you about. I feel like this is gonna make me rant on the fact that RRR was not nominated for Best Foreign Movie or Best Picture, which angers me. Also, I told Juan, best foreign film's already a lock because one of those is nominated for Best Picture. And if you're nominated for Best Picture and Best Foreign Film, you should be the best of the bunch. Other than that, like I said, I thought there were some good performances got nominated. Austin Butler for Elvis and Colin Farrell for the Banshees of Inisherin. And I don't know. I think I told Juan I really am angry about RRR, even though it got nominated for Best Song. So I don't know if I'm going to watch it. It's also a lot of time to dedicate to watching a TV show. And I got little kids. So yeah, I'm like I think some good movies that we saw that we liked were nominated, and Tom Cruise wasn't, which was kind of a letdown because he should have been. And yeah, that's about it. That's my Oscar spotlight, people.
Good, well done. Well, that was a sporadic segment that I like to call a sporadic segment.
Nailed it.
I would say, just to add to that, I'm not as angered about RRR being not being nominated as I am angered about Avatar: The Way of Water being nominated for Best Picture.
Wow,
I
really?
just
Picture.
yeah, I just see that as a spit in the face of cinema, and I'm sure that somewhere Quentin Tarantino is preparing his typewriter
No,
to
Martin
just
Scorsese, bro. Martin Scorsese. He's the one that hates anything.
So
That's not like a real movie.
Juan, why don't you tell the people how much you hated it when you saw Avatar 2?
Bro, it's bad.
That one?
No, I haven't seen it.
No, you just hate a movie he's never seen. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, it honestly looks like the first movie with just different characters. Instead of them experiencing humans, they're now experiencing these underwater people or whatever.
Yeah. Everyone who's seen it that I've spoken to has loved it. I'm just gonna let y'all know.
Okay.
Well, everyone's loving it because of how beautiful it is and how gorgeous it's to look at, and how pretty it is. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that I mean, beauty fade, bro. Beauty fade. Like if you look at the first Avatar now, no, it still holds up. Never mind.
No, it's really good.
Yeah, it still looks good. It still looks good, but like it's not enough for me to go, I really want to watch Avatar again because it looks so good. Like the story is good. Like it's Ferngully 2.0. Like I get it. It's not horrible for what it was. I think I've seen it like 2 or 3 times, but I'm good. I'm good with never seeing that again. So I feel like this is Avatar 2 is
I'm,
literally the same movie.
I'm just saying, let's archive this so that in 12 years, when Juan accidentally watches Avatar 2 and says, dude, it was such a good movie, I don't know why we did it. I'm just gonna be like, you hated something you didn't see. If you watch it and hate it, okay.
He's gonna wait till it comes to streaming. Make that his pick.
You can hate something on principle.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You could, but what principle?
I hate Steven Seagal.
And spite.
Okay, at least you do that. But you're hating Avatar 2 because it ruined cinema. But you don't know that it's ruined cinema.
It's principle and spite.
Spike, you're Colombian, so I'll accept that.
Baby, S&P. Spite and principle.
But I will also just say I'll be rooting for, not that I really ultimately care all that much anymore about those award shows, but I hope Banshees wins everything.
Well, you know it's not going to win everything.
No,
you have to understand.
Yeah, but I hope it wins.
All right, fair enough.
Certainly hope it wins more than The Whale.
Yeah, The Whale. I mean, if you give, what's his name? I'm drawing a blank.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, if you want to give him an award for Best Actor, go for it. But outside of that, the story is too bizarre. I'm just like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's too bizarre. Bizarre is a good word for it. I mean, it's Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it's been a pleasure.
All right, gents.
Love you.
Love you guys.